Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is February the 22nd, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today's been pretty laid back, pretty relaxed. I will say at the same time a bit rough, at least internally, but we move. We do what we can. I started off. We had an early start. Woke up early, as I'm wont to do, especially if I'm not doing anything too crazy. That Friday night, right? So I woke up, no laundry, but I needed to go to Walmart. I needed to pick up some things. So we go to the store. And I was looking for like some hair products, like essentially, I got a little dandruff going, I got a little dry scalp action. And I was looking for essentially the same thing that I had been using and I couldn't find it. So I was just stun locked in the aisle for about like 5 to 10 minutes. I also needed to get like a little laundry basket thing. So I was like, okay, let's just get that. I finally settled on a couple of products that weren't quite what I was looking for, but maybe they might be what I need. So who knows? We'll see. I'll keep you posted. But overall, I was having an issue this whole time with my stomach. My stomach was just not doing good. I was struggling. So, I think that kind of added to my woes a bit, but we got what we needed out of the store and then went to the gym. The gym, not my best session, but we got through it. And overall, we're doing even better on the leg press. So, I put a little bit more weight on that what is it, the one you rack up or whatever. So I was like, hell yeah, that's cool. We love that. Did the same on the bench, nothing crazy. I think that's just going to be like a weekend thing because it's just going to be more available, right? That makes sense. I think I said that last time. So, just trying to take advantage of that. I tried to potentially do a little bit more, but even just feeling the weight once I put it on, I was like, nah, let's not do that. Let's just do one plate. Let's just leave it at that. But yeah, overall, because my stomach just wasn't doing good, wasn't doing well, it was just a struggle. I found myself, especially just on the weight part, like weight training part. I really wasn't pushing. I was just kind of like, let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. But overall, gym was gym. It was good. Got some coffee after, and here we are. Shout out to Scooters. But yeah, no, good day so far overall. I think also my stomach's doing better. I think I'm coming, off of that. Also, I've had like a little cough too, and I'm like, man, what is going on? But I really just think that the weather is weathering. And in terms of my stomach, it's just, these things happen. I got a fragile constitution. What can I say? But to the thing that did my stomach so dirty, I guess we can talk about it. Let's go to the food corner. It was just Korean fried chicken. Nothing crazy. Nothing too wild. So I thought. It tasted good. It was yummy. So like no complaints outside of the tummy problems. But hey, so it goes. Let's go ahead and do our startup and get into some news. How's that sound? Hopefully good. All right. Our first story comes from the BBC. Family of Israeli hostage Siri Bibas says new return body is hers. The family of Israeli hostage Siri Bibas said a body handed over by Hamas on Friday is hers. Our Shiri was murdered in captivity and has now returned home. The family said in a statement. Israel's forensic officials who have been examining the body are yet to confirm the identification. Remains handed over by Hamas on Thursday, which it said were those of Shiri Bibas, turned out to be an unidentified woman, Israel said. It comes as six living hostages were handed over by Hamas on Saturday as part of a ceasefire deal. More than 600 Palestinian prisoners will be freed by Israel in exchange. Let's scroll ahead here. Israel has disputed the claim that Ariel and Kiefer Bibas were killed in an airstrike, with the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, spokesman Daniel Hagari telling a press conference, forensic findings, which they put in quotations, and I actually like that, which have not been seen by the BBC, suggested the boys had been killed deliberately. So, I mean, essentially, you still have this back and forth where, to dispute what Hamas has said, which is like they died in an airstrike, which they also add is part of the reason why they did what they did in terms of giving the wrong body. It's not that they intended to, they just could not tell who was who out of all of this. And they're like, we thought this was Shiri Bibas, and that's who we gave you. It wasn't. Okay, this person we hope is, and it's like, okay, it looks like it is. I guess that's not fully confirmed by Israel as of yet, at least as of this article and this recording. But we're going with that. We're going with that for now. I am glad that the exchange has still continued, and this didn't stop things, and that they were able to get Shiri Bibas to actually home. So I think that that's overall a good thing. I'm not surprised to see Israel say no, they were actually, because they said, oh, the family was brutally murdered. That's what the forensics is saying, and the BBC is like, well, let us see that, and they're like, no. So, there's no full confirmation of that. And I don't know. At this point, I'm more inclined to believe what I'm hearing in terms of, they died in an airstrike that the IDF conducted. But that's an important update that I wanted to get into. We can go ahead and move on to the next bit. From the BBC, couple held in Iran need prompt UK action, says Nazanin's husband. Now, I'm going to add here, the way that this article is structured, they focus a lot on Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe and Richard Ratcliffe. That's a whole other situation there in terms of like people who have been captured, held hostage, prisoner, whatever, and then, had to be a part of a whole other exchange. That's not the news of the day here, but the BBC is like kind of doing it for filler. But I mean, I get it. Not to say that it's not relevant, but I don't really want to cover it here. It blows more time. Anyway, Craig and Lindsay Foreman were arrested in January, but news of their detention on unspecified security charges only emerged earlier this week. The couple, both age 52, had been on a motorbike trip across the world and had only planned to be in Iran for 5 days. Excuse me. The Foreman family said the couple's detention was a distressing situation, and they are deeply focused on ensuring their safety and well-being during this trying time. Posting on Instagram before being detained, Ms. Foreman acknowledged traveling to Iran against Foreign Office advice and to Pakistan was risky and slightly scary. But she wrote, "We know the rewards of meeting incredible people, hearing their stories, and seeing the breathtaking landscapes of these regions could far outweigh the fear." I don't know. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't do it, but I'm a homebody. I'm not trying to have that kind of adventure. Let's see here. I know that, Miss Foreman had been Miss Foreman had been a life coach with a doctorate in psychology, said she was having an amazing time. Her husband, Craig, who is a carpenter, spoke of the lovely people of a lovely country. The couple had moved from East Sussex to start a new life in Andalusia, Spain, in 2019, and appeared on an episode of Channel 4's A New Life in the Sun in 2022 to showcase their lives as expats. Ms. Foreman is reported to have been carrying out a research project on their journey to Australia asking people what it means to be human and what constitutes a good life. She was due to present her findings at a conference on positive psychology in Brisbane in July. But now she has been apprehended. But look, I'm not trying to blame the victims here. I get it. You know, at the end of the day, they did nothing wrong. In terms of from the view from Iran, they're saying, "Oh, we think these people are spies, so that's why we apprehended them on espionage." So that was their reason for arresting them. Do I believe that? No, but this is this thing I've talked about long, like time and time again, where it's like, look, dude, I get. Travel is amazing. It's fun to go everywhere and anywhere and see new people and be in a new place, and it's a whole new world out there, and you just got to go out there and see it and just get over your fear of blah 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 blah. Look, I'm not trying to be in a prison over some political ass bullshit, okay? Just because the motherfuckers in this nation state decided, hey, yeah, no, we need a couple of these guys. Let's just round them up. Let's just see what's going on here. Nah, and that's just one outcome. There's so many other things that could happen to you while traveling. I'm just so good on it, bro. Like, it's just not for me personally, but hey, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum out here. I do agree that there are beautiful people out there, and you should go out and see them. You should go out and mingle amongst the masses and see more and do more. I'm all for that. But me personally, you're gonna catch me in the U.S. of motherfucking A, and you're gonna see me in motherfucking Ohio. Okay, that I'm not going nowhere. Okay, I'm staying right here. All right, I'm a small town boy. I don't need all that shit, man. I just don't. But hey, hopefully these guys, these two get out of jail. And if you want to read more about the Ratcliffe portion of here, you can get to the BBC and check it out. I mean, it's relevant, but it's not right now, okay? Like, that's 2022 shit or whatever. I don't care. Like, one thing at a time. You feel me? So let's go ahead and move along. Our next story is from Global Data, but I pulled it also from Yahoo Finance. That's where I pulled it from, and that's where they're pulling it from. Anyway, PepsiCo to close U.S. Popcorners plant in New York. Actually, the rest of the story is New York related. So if you're not a New York enjoyer, well, I guess maybe. Well, actually, no. Stick around because I'm gonna be talking some shit about New York. Anyway, PepsiCo is close to. I can speak. I can say words. I promise you that. PepsiCo is to close a snacks plant in the U.S. manufacturing the Popcorners brand, with more than 200 employees expected to lose their jobs. Now, this is quick aside, nothing to do with the article. If you have had Popcorners, let me know if that shit's any good. I think I've had it one time. It was just like the OG one, but I think it wasn't very memorable. But maybe some of these other flavors are pretty good. I think these are supposed to be kind of healthy for you too, right? What's that, 130 calories? Am I reading that right? Anyway, let's continue. Sorry. The facility in the town of Liberty in New York is operated by PepsiCo Foods. PepsiCo Foods US, a spokesperson for that division of the food and drinks giant said. The statement provided to Just Food read, "This plant has played a vital role in producing our beloved Popcorners brand, but the pace of growth for this product line, paired with the broader industry pace of growth, has made it difficult to sustain the site's long-term viability. We deeply appreciate the contributions of our Liberty employees, and this decision does not diminish the value of their hard work and dedication. We have notified our workforce and are working closely with our employees and local community officials to provide a supportive transition." Whatever the fuck that means. It's a warn notice from PepsiCo's Frito-Lay Snacks unit to the New York State Department of Labor provided more details on expected job losses. The Liberty site employs 289 full-time workers, and all will be affected by the closure, it said. The first round of layoffs will start on May 21st and last 2 weeks. It added that Liberty plant staff are not represented by a union and do not have any bumping rights. So I had to look that up real quick before I went on. I believe bumping rights are essentially if you have seniority, you can take a lower job instead of getting your job cut, as opposed to the company saying, we're going to cut you first and foremost or however we want, and you're just shit out of luck. You just got to, sucks for you. This is our decision. It's like, no, you have to give me a potential smaller or lower position and keep me as opposed to firing me. I believe that is more or less bumping rights, but I might be getting that wrong. It is what it is. The local authority in Sullivan County, where the Liberty facility is located, also issued a statement on the closure. We are deeply concerned about PepsiCo's decision to shutter their Liberty Food manufacturing facility, which has been an integral part of our community for decades and employs hundreds of locals. This action will have many impacts, which we intend to sort out with PepsiCo's assistance in coming weeks. The statement read. Obviously, this shit's a fucking bummer. I think the biggest fucking wound here is that this isn't a unionized situation. So it's like they can just do whatever the fuck they want here. It is the scariest fucking thing here that they can just be like, this isn't making us enough money anymore. It's not really worth it. So let's just fucking get rid of it. We're done now. Wash our hands with this. There's no protections for you as a person. They're done with you. That you have no more use. Go on, skedaddle. Like, this is part of the reason why motherfucking big companies like this don't want unions. They go out of the way to bust that kind of shit up. So that when they are done sucking from the straw out of this fucking town, out of this fucking area, out of these fucking people whose lives matter, they can just say, fuck it, let's just leave. We're done now. We can just shift this off somewhere else. We can rely on our bigger fucking plants or whatever. It doesn't matter to us. It's not making us, our shareholders, enough fucking money. So, bye-bye. So yeah, let's move along though. I did want to, make sure to mention that this one, I thought was going to be a pretty cut and dry story for your boy. It gets a little complicated for me. You know what I mean? But hey, so it goes. From CNN, New York governor deploys National Guard amid legal corrections officer strike at state prisons. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has deployed National Guard troops to secure state-run prisons amid a wildcat strike by corrections officers. I like how they use that, wildcat strike, like it's like some fucking football shit. Picketing and striking by corrections officers took place at around 30 state prisons as of Wednesday morning, union officials said. Hochul says National Guard troops are being deployed Wednesday, but she did not immediately specify where. They've already been deployed and are ready to stabilize this situation, Hochul said of the National Guard soldiers in a video address released Wednesday. I'm directing everyone involved in these unlawful strikes to stop these actions immediately. Legal action has already commenced to ensure compliance. So I love that. I love when a Democratic governor is like, yeah, dude, I'm going to just fucking do it. I'm going to fucking pull the trigger. I'm going to make you do what I want you to do, dude. Just doing the fucking Biden work. I love that. I love it. No, dude, fuck a collective action. You're not doing that. It's illegal. Later in the day, Hochul's office said in a statement that 3,500 members of the New York National Guard started reporting for duty and will support corrections workers at prisons with tasks including distributing meals and medication to incarcerated individuals and maintain general order and wellness in the facilities. Obviously, for the incarcerated, this is a terrible situation to be in. You're more or less, I believe, on a lockdown. Your the resources that you normally would have are just severely limited, taken away from you, because they just don't have the staff, and they have National Guard here. Also, there's just more potential risk of, just unrest, and, it makes a bad situation worse. So, but that being said, I can understand when we're talking about a union, you're going to make this shit happen for yourself. Even if in this situation you have union leaders saying, we didn't authorize this, we know it's not okay, we're not supporting this, they're moving of their own accord. So in some ways I admire that. But let's see here. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and read this quote. Our family members and their incarcerated loved ones are gripped with fear of what may happen with the governor's calling of the National Guard, Elijah said, citing the massacre of people inside Attica by National Guard soldiers in 1971. She said that families were reporting lockdowns and other restrictions at Bear Hill, Franklin, upstate Collins, Elmira, Five Points, Otisville, Clinton, Greenhaven, Woodburn, Eastern Attica, Auburn, Clinton, and Windy prison facilities. Let me go ahead and skip ahead here. Now, this is where I get uneasy, right? Because, like I said, y'all know I'm pro-union. I'm pro-union till I fucking die. Like, even though I'm not a part of one personally, I support that shit because I know that that's something that is one of the few things that lifts all boats in this fucking bullshit-ass soup that they call capitalism or whatever, you know? Anyway, union officials have said that corrections officers are protesting for better pay. I like that. Heightened searches of prison visitors. I don't like that. I think that's fucked up. Like, oh, so we can, we gotta make sure things are safe. And no, so that you can do more invasive, more weird searches that people don't want and are probably not needed. I don't. And a reversal of recent prison reforms that limit solitary confinement. They want more solitary confinement for the criminals. No, I don't like that. So, if it was me here, I just want to see these people get better pay. You're putting your lives in the lines being a corrections officer or whatever the fuck. You're being a little, prison cop. Okay. But yeah, sure. Get your fucking bag. You don't need all this extra shit. I think you can manage without. But, that being said, that's where we're at here. So like I said, this is where we're in that fucking bullshit ass shade of gray here that no one likes being in and having to have a fucking stance because, you're talking about it on your podcast. But yeah, like I said, I am pro-union. I don't want to fucking change that stance, period, just because I don't fuck with COs. You know what I mean? Goddamn, it is what it is. These people are going to exist. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, they should have to do their job for $0. No, because then no one's going to fucking do it. And then you're going to have a situation where what? You're going to have National Guard in a fucking prison? No, that doesn't sound like a good idea at all. It sounds like a goddamn powder keg. Anyway, we are closing out with another New York story, another New York banger. Classic motherfucking corruption. We got an update. It's Hochul. It's Adams. It is, I guess, at least a potential decision for now. So let's do our last break and we'll close it out. Okay. From NBC News, Governor Kathy Hochul won't remove embattled NYC Mayor Eric Adams for now. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said Thursday she won't, for the time being, remove embattled New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office, but will instead impose limits on his power. Hochul in recent weeks has been pressured to exercise her power to remove Adams from City Hall after his indictment last year on corruption allegations. After careful consideration, I have decided that I will not commence removal proceedings at this time, she told reporters at the governor's New York City office. My strong belief is that the will of the voters and the supremacy and sanctity of democratic elections preclude me from any other action. I cannot deny the people of this great city the power to make this decision for themselves. Also, it's worth noting, too, I'm just remembering I hadn't covered it, but the judge has also said, hey, I'm not dismissing it, but I am adjourning it until something changes. So, essentially, Adams is off the hook now. Like, he is getting this soft sanction bullshit. We'll smash to more or less what that is in a second. But he's getting off. Like, he's gliding off. He essentially just had to make his bones with Trump, and now he is a puppet in New York for him, and he's good to go. He's fine. At least until after the shit. Then maybe, this shit can be revisited and they can get him for corruption if he loses or whatever. But yeah, he's gonna fight like hell to do whatever the fuck Trump wants. I got to listen to a clip while I was listening to the Daily, and essentially the ICE czar or whatever met up with Eric Adams, and then they have an interview on Fox News where like dude's just like, yeah, I came up to him and I said, hey, you're gonna do what I want, and then like, and if you don't, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna be up your butt. And like, and they're just laughing about it, they're kikiing over it, and it's like, dude, yeah, you're no longer you anymore. You are just a fucking vassal for Donald Trump, and that's not how this should be, especially in a fucking democratic liberal ass fucking place like fucking New York. Like, bruh is on the fucking jock at this point. It's crazy to me how deep it is. But like I said, I get it in terms of Adams. He has no reason to be some nobleman about this. This is New York, baby. This is machine party politics, baby. You know, it's not surprising that it's unfolding this way at all. But it just to kind of take it back to Hochul, it's like, you're a person who can change this. You have actual power to just fire this motherfucker, to terminate his position. And you're not. Because you want to protect what? Your position. You don't want to feel any extra smoke here. It is worth adding, because this is another thing I didn't cover, but I think that we at least initially talked about it at some point about the tolls that are taking place in New York. Essentially, actually, we can just read it from here. Hochul met with reporters on Wednesday to explain her plans to defend congestion pricing, a toll imposed on most drivers coming into Manhattan during non-overnight hours. And during a Q&A and Grand Central Terminal, I feel like it should say at, Hochul refused to answer several questions lobbied to her about Adams. So yeah, I just wanted to add that extra thing here because essentially the Trump administration has come through and said, no, that's not okay. You can't do that with the tolls, so that you got to get rid of that. But Hochul, I guess, is going to be defending that. So there we go. We're closing out with that information. Am I that surprised that that's happening, though, in terms of with Eric Adams? No. No, I'm not. It's just a bummer that he really is just going to fucking skate away with it. This fucking fucking corrupt ass fucking cop, bro. Just bullshit, man. Anyway, that'll be the episode for today. That's where we're closing it out. If you'd like to help out the effort, become a newsie today. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. And then let's see, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com if you want to hit me up for free. And then you can also hit me up on any of the socials, either me or the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Spotify. Leave a like. Leave a comment on this episode. Sharing is caring. And thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.